7:01 on the East Coast. I'm Dave Globin, Boogie with the Bull. Tuesday Night Live is on the air. We are live on the Dave Globin profile on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. So if you go over to my profile, scroll down about halfway, you'll see a post that says we're live. If you tap into that post like we are right now, and you tap and you get the comments showing, then your comments will be there. Hopefully they will come up on the screen thanks to the beautiful technicians at StreamYard. Can't promise that. If you're on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and you make a comment, your comments will come up on the screen as well. We invite you to become a part of the broadcast, just like the eminent genealogist to the stars, Randy Rhodes, who was with us tonight. He drew the short straw.
There you go.
And I don't feel like wearing headphones, so people are just going to have to deal with it. I just don't feel like wearing headphones tonight. So I'm here, you're here, people are watching, I hope, and a lot to talk about. So
there's a lot of different things to talk about. Not a lot of good. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit different thing. Trump was in New York again, at the courthouse, and the people were chanting, "He's going to jail! He's going to jail!" and the mainstream media is all excited because this video got 1 million views, but it doesn't say, about all the millions of people who watch, his rallies or watch when he's on the Tucker show or something like that. But because 1 million people at least clicked on the video, it's big news. But I think the takeaway from today was that fucking DA laughing in Trump's lawyer's face, saying, "You can't talk about this. You got gag order. You can't say anything about this case." And she laughed in her face. It's like, I don't know, Dave. The legal system under the Democrat administration is for the criminals. The good people don't stand a chance right now with the way things are. And she can go and she can talk about the case all she wants wherever she's at, TV or whatever, and she can talk about it. But my poor Trump, he can't talk about it. It's like, what the hell? That's not fair.
I read briefly an interesting thing before we went live a few minutes ago that Trump's lawyers evidently are figuring out some way, if they can, to legally go after the Senate, requiring them to drop the election fraud charges because the appeal for the House impeachment, which claimed that he interfered with the election, the appeal wasn't heard in the Senate, so that means he automatically wins. So, he gets the impeachment, but because he wasn't convicted in the House, the charges should be dropped. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. So if they're able to pull that off, they should be able to pull it off based on First Amendment rights. Our only problem is, well, no, I would be too.
It seems when it comes to Trump that even if he has the law on his side, it never goes his way. It's like, I agree with you. I heard that as well. And he'll take it to the Senate and they'll say, so what? We don't care. You're Trump. I don't know. I saw a video of the leader of North Korea and taking into consideration, hopefully the closed captions were correct, but essentially, he's saying that he hopes Trump gets reelected, and that it'll bring peace to the world again, and that he hopes that Biden is not allowed to run for reelection because of all his legal problems. And I agree. I don't know, Dave, with China, threatening Taiwan, and they have all their ships in the water, and we have our ships, and all the other European countries, they joined their ships together. You got, Israel, you got Ukraine. Somewhere, something's going to happen to trigger the United States to go into war.
I'm going to do something I've always said I would do on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Clinton, I'm going to put your comment up on the screen, and I'm going to read it. But then I'm going to do some commentary afterwards. Someone please help me feed my kids. They've gone without food from yesterday until now. I have no hope of what to feed them. I'm really begging. My PayPal account is, and you see it on the screen. If any one of you watching the broadcast send something to this person's PayPal account, and it's legit, and you help them, God help you. But on the other side of the equation is that if you send something to them and your PayPal or your cards get compromised, you got a warning first. Okay? I normally will not post something like this on a broadcast because I don't trust everybody. And, I don't normally post it. But hey, if you really are suffering and people send you, more power to you. But if you in any way take advantage of anybody and we find out, we'll try to make sure they get it back. But anyway.
I'm looking at the guy's Facebook account.
Yep.
There's nothing here that he's asking for help. There's a lot of Christian.
Right. So we'll just
you're taking a chance.
We won't give him any more than we did. If he really is suffering, we made an appeal, and if anybody decides they want to donate to his PayPal account, there's the address. Go right ahead, and if you help him, more power to you. If you get taken advantage of, more power to you too. Max Boat Shed wants to know if this is live. Yes, Mac, this is live on the Dave Goldman profile on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel over there on YouTube. Okay, Max Boat Shop is Callan McMillan, as everybody knows. And so make sure you pay attention to the there we go. Make sure you pay attention to the Callan McMillan Max Boat Shed Facebook page. I think they do YouTube videos and everything. Alan's a good guy, so that's all I can say. And up in the top square, the $900 question goes to Jerry Michaels. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I just I either embarrassed myself and read somebody's appeal for help funds, and so I did my good deed for today.
There you go. You get a Boy Scout merit badge.
And I told everybody.
Last night when I left the show, I didn't have a choice. I had two cats in the background fighting for tooth and nail, and I had to put a stop to them.
Yeah. Robin Brunson is here tonight. Robin is the promoter of Fat Boy Actually, I always say Fat Boy, and I'm going to get myself in trouble one of these days. It's Fat Cup Coffee Company.
That's all
Fantastic coffee. I drink it in the morning. Jerry drinks it 24 hours a day. And all I can tell you is it's good stuff. Go to the Fat Cup Coffee Company Facebook page, and you can get more information. Go over to their YouTube. They roast. They have a bunch of different blends, and all I can tell you is it is really good stuff. And like I said, Max Boat Shed is our friend Callum McMillan. And if you have a boat or an interest in boats, look up Max Boat Shed. And
hey, Jerry, since you went to Rumble, I've taken notice the sound quality is a lot better. I mean, you can hear absolutely everything going on, and the clarity is spot on.
Yeah. Well, when you look at what first of all, my internet sucks, so you really can't count me. But when you look at what Facebook does to feeds like ours, conservative, all right, it's worse on Facebook. You go over there, it's a little bit better, but everybody else is also much better. See, because each person on screen is the one streaming. It's not just me, and you can tell the difference. And I'm happy on the screen. I can't even see them on StreamYard. And any other place I've looked, they don't let. It's a Rumble thing. Rumble won't let that happen for. I don't know why. So that's be that. There's nothing I can do about it. We got to figure out a way to shut up and read them every now and again, because I didn't start this to not have people in the comments be part of it, and that was 10 years ago, and I'm not going to change it now.
No videos from Max Boat Shed yet because Mr. McMillan had to deal with a producer who quit. So if you're a producer of videos, contact Callum McMillan, and I'm sure he'll make beautiful videos together. And I don't know, the words just didn't want to come out of my mouth. So I was having trouble getting out.
No, it's not what I was laughing. I've been waiting 3 months. One video, Mac.
One video. That's all Jerry asks. And
yeah, I mean, it's not hard.
And he wants to star in one
Share
video.
out the show here.
Yep. The old guy cool.
I
the
don't
old guy cool Scott.
Whipping me in the back.
Oh well, then I guess the old guy cool's yacht won't be getting serviced at Max Boat Shed. I don't want to start anything there, guys. But
I had a boat, and I've had like 3 boats, and water where your money goes.
Yeah. I'm fun until you get about, miles out, and then you turn the boat off and it rocks while you're trying to fish, and I turn green, and then they bring me back. So you don't see me on a lot of boats.
I don't have seasickness. The only time I ever had seasickness was on a Amtrak when we got off of LSD and got in the water. That was horrible. There's a United States Marine Corps helmet somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of North Carolina.
How do you?
You said off the coast of North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah. Because I got sick and I threw it overboard after I threw up it.
Okay. I missed that part. I have one of our cats is still a little bit semi-feral.
Yeah, no, I didn't really say that.
And she's attacking me, so I gotta watch out for her. But yeah, so what do you throw up in your helmet and you threw it overboard?
Well, exactly what happened is they hand you a plastic bag to throw up in, kind of like the airlines, because they don't want to have to clean that crap up after they dump you on the beach. Well, my staff sergeant, see this Amtrak we were in, which looks like a tank without the turret, basically. It leaked everywhere, and my poor staff sergeant, so he asked to use my plastic bag, and about 5 minutes later, from the rough seas we were in, and watching us slowly drown. In water inside this thing that would sink like a rock. And and by the way, I mentioned they pretty much close you in there so that it's airtight. Anyway, I felt it coming, and it came like within 2 seconds, and the only thing I had was my helmet, so I threw up in my helmet. And when we got back on the LST, I got over by where the Amtraks go off into the ocean, and I just threw it around the side and said, I don't want that any. And that was that. So, yeah, it was a good day.
Now, since that was government property, did they make you pay for
No,
it
I
to get
didn't.
another one?
No, I went up to the real Army Navy store we used to have in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It was a actual used military stuff, not like the Army Navy stores today. But I don't even remember the name of it. And I bought one and turned that in, and it cost me like $30 at the time, which is a lot of money back then. But still, it was better than the probably $700 the Marine Corps would have charged me. So.
I should know how to do this, but how do I remove a pest in the live chat? I'm sorry. How do I remove a pest in the live chat?
Over to where their comment is, you find 3 dots, put the cursor over it.
That's what's missing. I don't have the 3 dots.
Cursor over the comment, you'll see 3 dots. Click on the dots.
Let me try this.
You have to have 3 dots. I don't, because I'm not running the show. But you should.
I know. Normally I would have the 3 dots. I know, and I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have the 3 dots tonight. So, oh well. All right, and we'll just leave it in the live chat. We won't acknowledge it anymore. But
yeah. The story was the rest of this story is that I got back on the LST, and all my good friends in the Marine Corps told me the best bunk to have is the bottom one. And you got to understand, these are like, I think they're somewhere around 12 to 13 inches, one on top of the other. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They say get in the bottom one. Me never being on a ship that big, believe them, because they said it with a straight face, which made it worse. And then I had to run to the head, which is the bathroom in the Marine Corps, and the bathroom was over flooding because there were so many people using it at the same time. So that morning they told me we were just fucking with you. Well, you should have been on the top bunk. You'd have been better. And I was pissed off about that, but still exceedingly sick. And then the damn doc comes out and hands me Dramamine. And I'm like, where the hell were you yesterday when I was dying? And here we are. Yeah, pretty much. Most people laughed at that too at the whole time. Back then, everybody was laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing they ever seen. But you got to understand that Marines are psychotic and they're masochists, especially when they're masochisting someone else. When it's them, it's not so much fun. But when it's someone else, they find that hilarious.
Yeah. Alan wants to know:
Anyway.
Alan wants to know, did you remove the Coast Guardsmen before you threw them overboard, I guess?
It wasn't the Coast Guard, it was the United States Navy. The Navy runs this stuff.
Okay. Well, then I'm sure you probably did not remove them overboard, throw them overboard.
No, they frown on that in the military, throwing people overboard and stuff. And the only other time I've ever been that sick is when I had food poisoning. Other than that, never been that sick before.
Okay. Robin wants to know who is the guy in the top hand corner of the screen. That's Randy Rhodes, the genealogist to the stars. And the other one, is Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion, which is now on Rumble, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. till they are done. I can't say until 9 p.m. because sometimes they're still on after 9 p.m.
We've been getting off at 9 quite a bit lately. We're trying to get used to being on there. There's a lot of changes we're trying to make, and we're not. For 10 years I did the wing it thing.
Yeah.
And we just winged it something. So, and Daryl is the one who kind of a few times pushed us over there. And the last time it was like, you know what, let's just do it. So it was.
I know you're trying to watch your language.
I plugged both of you last night.
No, the nice thing over on Rumble is you can type things into the the live chat that you can't type into a Facebook live chat.
Yeah. I noticed that last night with you with the what do you call her? That's funny shit. What did you call her?
Towelhead.
Was it Rashida Tlaib? What did you call her?
Yeah. Rashida.
Towelhead Leave or something. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
It is.
I stole that from somebody.
As you notice, I don't hold nothing back. I don't hold nothing back on the people. Not after this. I mean, think about this, guys. They've been fighting for thousands of years. For thousands of years, people have been appeasing them, and they're still killing us. And, the only way this is going to stop is when we kill them a lot. And I mean, as many as humanly possible. I don't care if you think it's genocide. I don't care about any of that crap. These people are world's devil.
But the interesting question I have is that if they were to succeed and killed all of us, and it was just them left, don't you think they would start killing themselves because only one of them can be alive, right? I mean. No, who are you killing?
They've already done. They already do that.
I know, but once they've killed
they have sex. What is that called? Sect. They have sects. CT over there.
Yeah, sex.
And they hate each other.
Yeah.
The only thing they agree on is they hate us and Jews. But when you put them all together, we're all infidels. Every last one. It doesn't matter what your religion is.
Yep.
And they want us dead. It's that simple. And evil incarnate. Yeah, I go with that. Yeah, Alan, absolutely. Because I know genocide is wrong, nothing, but have thoughts of killing each other, teach their children to hate and kill. You see these kids look like they're 12 years old or something, holding AK-47s, wanting to kill Jews, or sickness that can only be cured one way.
Very sad.
Well, that's why they're killing the Jews, children and babies, because they know that if they were left to grow up to adulthood, they would want to seek revenge for the death and the torture of their parents and grandparents. And I mean, China is the same way. They're teaching their kids how to break down and put back together, all these automatic weapons. And we're teaching our kids how that if you don't want to be a boy or a girl, you don't have to be. You can be the opposite sex and use each other's bathrooms.
Yeah.
We're not preparing our future generations to defend our nation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And our military, whether you want to believe it or not, is a complete freaking mess because of the politicians and using it as a what I call that, test tube, basically. Social freaking test tube. And that's not what the military is. And people who have never been in the military do not understand that. Because it's a whole different world. It's not civilian life. It's a whole different world where you do all kinds of stupid crap. I don't care. But you do it, and you do it while bitching, moaning, and complaining as much as humanly possible, and then you get the job done. Because if you go to combat, you're going into combat for one reason and one reason only, and that is to complete the mission.
Yep.
That's it. There are going to be casualties, whether dead or wounded or whatever, but you complete the mission. That is your, at least in the Marine Corps, that is your only goal. And if somebody gets killed, you move the hell on. That's the way it goes.
I'm still, I don't know. I'm scared to think that a man who can't even put sentences together when the script is in his hand and he's reading it is our commander-in-chief. I mean, I've told you guys, I have moments where after the cameras are off and the mic is off, and I'm sure the cameras and the mic are off, I will look. Sometimes I'll even look at my dog and I'll go, what the hell did I say for 2.5 hours? But he probably doesn't even do that because he just doesn't know. Or there's got to be somebody off camera holding a bowl of ice cream with whipped cream and a cherry on top, and that's all he sees. But it just...
I believe that throughout Joe Biden's career, American citizens have been like Rhodes Scholars compared to him. He's never been bright.
Yeah.
He's a racist. Okay. He is, his vice president called him a rapist and a racist. And I got news for you. She's another one. She is just completely out of her league, actually being a leader. It's easy to be a leader when you talk tough. People look, oh, he's a leader. No.
Yeah.
The person who is a leader is the person who actually just says, fuck it, let's go and do this for the best of the country. These people are not leaders. They are only leading money into their pockets. And that's the only thing they lead at our expense.
I have children and grandchildren, and I was always raised to believe that the the current generation is to leave behind the place a better place than what it was when we first came into it. And I hate to say it, but when I'm gone, unless things change around the next maybe 15, 20 years, if I God give that much time left, um, I'm not going to be leaving this place a better place to live in because of everything that's going on. I mean, thank God I'm not living in a Democrat controlled city because you see what's going on in those cities. Though I'm on the verge of a major Democrat city, so I'm seeing some of that bullshit roll over into my neighborhood. But for the most part, I live in a pretty decent place. But with all the illegals coming over by the million, and knowing that we're allowing a lot of Muslims to come into our nation unchecked, we don't know. It's like I'm not sure when you guys mentioned it the other day, on the show where one of those Muslim Congress people who can say something in Arabic or whatever, and it's the green light to all the sales in our nation to begin their actual attack on their targets that they've been given. We don't know what's going on. And I've said this before too. I mean, you look at all the Western nations whose people, men and women, fought and died to ensure freedom and independence for the rest of the world. And here we are now with these nations under socialist control, close enough to being communist control, and the people aren't allowed to live their life free. Trump, he can't talk about the case. In Australia, you got to have a card to click in when you cross a border or to use a toilet. England, you have the Muslims taking over the towns and kicking out the English citizenship. Canada, my God, what happened? You would think that there would be enough veterans left from all the various wars that our men and women fought in for the independence and freedom of the nations to remember that our nations, plural, was supposed to be the beacon of free speech, of independence, of freedoms. And here we sit, I wouldn't say idly by, but here we sit allowing 400 to 500 people in office to totally, erase everything that our forefathers fought and died for. I mean, when you look at this, you only have like 500 people controlling this nation, okay, making the rules and the laws, and they're the ones telling the rest of the world, the rest of the nation how to live. There was a news video where these parents are finally starting to speak out about transgenders using, guys pretending to be girls using girls' bathrooms. Out of that school of about 1,000 students, there are only 2 transgenders. But because of those 2 transgenders, they're telling the rest of the kids, where and how to pee and poo. I mean, that's not right.
No, it isn't. And I personally think, I don't know what you do. Go ahead, Jerry.
No, go ahead. It's all right, Dave. Go ahead.
I don't know what the schools need to do, whether you put outhouses, porta potties outside and tell them to use them. I don't know what the answer is. I said early on when this thing started to come to light that schools are going to end up building a 3rd locker room, a 3rd gym, having 3 teams, and And if anything, it might just be the end of, in some cases, school sports, which might be what the Democrats want. I don't know. It's sad. Go ahead, Jerry.
I just read a story before I came on here that this couple of Jewish kids, a few of them, got the shit beat out of them by some unnamed in the article kid. And they said some pretty nasty things to him and beat on him. So instead of taking the kid who said these things, by the way, unnamed in the article, so that ought to tell you who it was, they made these Jewish kids sign, and these are middle schoolers, a gag order, basically, to not talk about it out loud on social media anywhere. And I don't know what these people are thinking when they do this crap. It drives me nuts because it always ends up bad for them, but that's what they did. As far as the bathroom thing and what the answer is, I have the perfect answer. If you have a dick, use the boys' room. If you don't, use the women's room. And that will solve literally 100% of the problem. Okay.
And the guys that you see on the floor,
100% of the problem will be solved.
And the bodies you see on the floor whimpering for help in the boys' room were not transgendered females. Or maybe they were. They had help while they were in the.
I don't know. I don't believe that. I believe parents and their kids need to allow their kids to do that without some kind of professional help or something. I don't know, or maybe a whack in the back of the head to knock some sense into them. That would work. But I will say that they should be in jail because anybody who tries to transition their child, and I'm talking about child, I'm not talking about a teenager, right. Their child, or let their teenager before they're of legal age do this kind of crap, deserves to be in jail. Okay. And let's face it, when we were in school, especially the younger you were, the more you were, there was always some fad or another. Okay. When I was in school, it was like yo-yos. That drove all the teachers nuts because everybody had one. The hot toothpicks that everybody was selling in business with, that drove the teachers nuts. Everything, and it was just to drive everybody nuts because I'm trying to be different. And trying to be different and being different are two way different things. Okay, so I have personally known at least one kid who swore up and down she was gay, used to be the loudest person on the planet, proclaiming she's gay and acting gay and dressing gay, and the whole 9 yards, and with the haircut and everything. And now she's married to a guy and she has a child. Okay, so a lot of this garbage, properly treated by somebody other than these moronic teachers and counselors and doctors who are just trying to make money, okay, could be solved by a few stern talking tos, and it's like, enough, we're not doing this crap. Okay, because I watch this commercial from PragerU, and every damn thing, every time he gets on, I agree with him, and it's the only commercial I'll listen to all the way through on YouTube, is because the adults have to say, no, we're not doing this. And that's what needs to be done.
But you know what, Jerry, it's not just, the parents. I mean, if you see these videos of, and these schools have to be in Democrat controlled, districts, but my God, whatever happened to the clean cut teacher wearing a suit and the woman wearing a nice dress, a hairdo, and some jewelry? I mean, these teachers are wearing goth jewelry. They get their pierced up, they're tattooed up, they're different color hairs, they're transgenders or lesbians or gays, and they're reflecting themselves onto their students, and they're trying to get their students to live and act their way. It's
Go teach college. Get it out of the grade schools. But
you got to do what Jen does.
philosophy,
Homeschooling.
go teach it in college.
Okay. No,
But even
Randy just said with homeschooling like Jen does.
Yeah.
And I thought, as much as this pains me, I thoroughly agree with him because, as I said, the teachers, the counselors in the schools, and the doctors and the psychiatrists, they're all at fault for this because, I'm constantly hearing all the time how some girl or boy goes, sees a psychiatrist, and after 40 minutes, he tells her she's transgender and, that she should start dressing, and taking hormones and getting prescriptions and blah blah blah. And what is that? What is that doing? I'll tell you what we're doing. We are raising an entire generation of serial killers because eventually they're going to snap. And if you ever do any research on serial killers, a lot of this, Ed Gein was a mama's boy, and she was a holy terror. The way he snapped. And that's what we're doing with these people. We're going to get a rise in serial killers. I'll guarantee it.
Well, not only that, you're going to get a rise in teen suicide once the kid realizes what they did to themselves and they regret making the change.
Yeah, Jerry, you've said a lot that you've seen videos of kids that did this and come back later and say it was the worst thing that they ever did. And I've seen one that it was the worst thing the kid ever did because they botched up the surgeries so bad. The only word I can use to be polite is they have no idea what they are. And I believe it was a boy that desired to transgender to a girl. And I think his words were, I really have no idea what I am, but this was the worst thing I ever did. And it's sad, but I'm definitely the advocate for homeschooling if you can do it. I've said before, our 11-year-old grandson is, I think, 5th grade now, and he's leaps and bounds. I think it's once a quarter they have to go and meet with someone at the school, and he has to test out, and he tests out
at least
much better.
My personal sadness.
Go ahead. But like I said, if you have the time and you can homeschool your kids, or you can put the co-op together,
can't figure out what you are thing. When I watch these people, when you watch these people who have done this to themselves, I sit there and listen to them, and I don't know if to feel sorry for them or want to kill their parents, or I don't know how to feel. I don't. That they were so confused that they thought they were the opposite sex. I'm sorry, that is a parental thing. I mean, this thing now where they got parents, we'll let them decide. Okay, really? Because in my house, when I was married the first time, we had kids. The only thing they were just allowed to really decide for themselves is if, like if they wanted to go to CC's Pizza or they wanted to go to McDonald's or something on, like a Friday or Saturday night or something like that. That's the extent of what they were allowed to decide, because they weren't good at deciding other stuff. And why? Because they were 8 and 10 years old. That's why.
sometimes I think these kids who transgender because the mom, and it's primarily the mother, who wanted a daughter instead of a son, and they decided, hey, well, I got the son, now I can, I make him into a girl, and I get my daughter. And then they started doing the whole dressy up thing, and convinced this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid that he's a girl and he should be playing with dolls and dressing up in dresses and, and corsets and so forth. And eventually the kid thinks the same way. He wants to make his mommy happy, so he goes along with it. And of course, the kids in school can't make fun of him, otherwise they're expelled. So they have to go along with the lie, and that makes everything real.
Yeah. That's part of it, I believe. I think another part of it also is if you have a transgender son, you get to go out there in front of the world and proclaim it, and then get pissed off if somebody misgenders him, and you get your name in the paper, and you're somebody suddenly, and maybe those two are the same thing. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it together, but it seems like a lot of these mothers and fathers, we're very proud of our daughter who was a son 8 months ago, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and you can't misgender him or we're going to sue the school district and this and that and the other. And I'm like, I don't know. My daughter is gay. She is married to a woman. And I will tell you truthfully that I rarely see my daughter where she's not wearing some kind of shirt that's, got a rainbow or something on it. And she's 30 years old now. And I think that the biggest problem some people have is that they're so worried about who's against them and what they do or what they don't do, that they have to go out there and shove it down everybody's throat. And I don't think that's necessary. Every one of them, they used to say, we just want to live our lives in peace and live the way we want and blah, 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 which is nothing wrong with. And now they're getting people fired from their job just because they say, I don't agree with the lifestyle, and that's not what I am. And if you don't bow to the, feminazis, or you don't bow to the gay Nazis or any of this other bullshit, you're shit out of luck. This is why I'm actually the only reason I'm happy to be fat, bald, and broke is because I am uncancelable. Because my number one personality trait is I don't give a shit. You can't cancel and never come up with that. That's been me my whole life. You don't want to talk to me, that's cool. I'm good, because if you don't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. Stay away. I'll stay away from you. We'll get along great. It's as simple as that. But it's kind of ridiculous that everybody's got to wear something on their damn sleeve to prove who they are. You know who I am? I'm Jerry. That's it. I'm good.
Well, look at
Have a nice life.
Look at the Hollywood elite.
I'm nobody famous. I'm nobody non-famous. I'm just Jerry.
Look at the Hollywood elite. They come out and I don't know who are their names, but they come out and they're displaying their sons who's dressed up in dresses, and they're so proud of their son for realizing that he wants to be a girl, and it puts these elite into a new light, and it's like this whole crowd of welcome to the world. You're a girl, blah blah blah. And it's sickening.
But the exact opposite of that is Bruce Jenner, who said he knew when he was 8 years old that one day he was going to have to grow up and do this. And when did he have it? When he was retired and Social Security kicked in and he was 65, and and I can't even watch her because she sounds like a man. I was watching an interview that she was on. I had to turn it off. It sounds like a sailor, mouth like a sailor. But anyway.
Well, the good thing is she supports Trump. Came out today, talking praises about Trump.
Nah, I'd like to have. I wish I could have President Trump on and go through a list of people that support Trump just to try to get the honest feeling of what he might say of some of them that are supporting him. You missed it before you came on, Jerry, that I had read that I guess Trump lawyers who think that because the Senate didn't take up the appeal in Trump's election tampering impeachment, that they should get all the election fraud cases dismissed against him because he wasn't found guilty. He was impeached because the House operates under their own rules and they can impeach him, but basically he wasn't found guilty. If the Senate had said, no, you're guilty and you have to leave, that would have been a different ball of wax. But I wonder also if it's just Trump lawyers trying to clutch at straws for something that they may never get. But
I don't think the Trump lawyers are going to get much because this damn judge is like killing everything. I mean, everything they're trying to do, she just kills it. And I mean, the gag order, really? Are you kidding me? The gag order. That is just silly. And the reason they do it is they want as little getting out as possible. There should be cameras in this courtroom. There should be cameras with every inch of this trial. And there are, from what I understand, there's not going to be. And the reason for that is they want to do this behind closed doors. And, eventually all this will get to the Supreme Court or wherever it goes. And eventually it's all going to get overturned. But then it doesn't matter to them because the damage is already done.
Right.
The problem is for them is that every time they do stupid, not to curse Dave, but he gets more popular. They can't stop it. Right. There's nothing they're going to do to stop it. That's the problem. So they get more vicious. And, most of these people need to be punched in the face multiple times, I think, and thrown possibly from a building, but, at least out the front door to House and Senate buildings. That's just my opinion. Nobody listens, but I believe it. I mean, they are just criminal, traitorous pieces of garbage.
Well, you'd have to think that with the radicalized Muslims saying that if you don't do what we want you to do, we're going to throw you off this building. Could you imagine them going into the Capitol and going office by office and saying, do this, or die, that all of a sudden you're going to see all these people jumping off or being thrown off the gold dome of the Capitol? It's just getting crazy to me. That gag order lasted no longer than it took for the ink to dry on the order. And as I was saying to Randy, all of this is eventually going to end up at the Supreme Court, but he put a lot of people on the Supreme Court, but the question is, where are they now?
They're not going to stand up for him because when they were supposed to take up the whole thing about
Go ahead, Jerry.
It's all right. Let Randy talk.
Okay.
When they were getting ready to take up the case about the election being stolen, they started, their home addresses were released to the world, and they were having all these people come to their homes and threatening their families, and the judges backed off. They're not going to stand up for Trump because it'll just happen all over again. They're afraid for their lives, and they shouldn't be. But they're going to, not support Trump because of it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I kind of look at the Democrats.
I guess we'll find.
Right. I just kind of laugh.
We got to get out of the habit of saying. We got to get out of the habit of saying the words radicalized Muslim. There's no difference between the radicalized and the non-radicalized. They're all radicalized. They've been radicalized since birth, by parents, by uncles, by relatives, by next door neighbors, by everybody. There's no such thing as a non-radicalized Muslim. And if they are acting like non-radicalized Muslims, that's the same guy who's going to chop your head off because they're allowed to lie to infidels as often as they please and still get into the 72 goats and all the rest of that. And, without having to worry about, something like Christians do or, like hell or whatever. And these people, I don't trust any of them. I don't care how kindly they are. I don't give a damn. I will not do business with. We have a business in town. It got over by my Muslims. The Firestone, where I used to go all the time. I'll never go back there again. Not until they sell it. And it probably won't make any difference. But I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm done with these people.
No, Steven, you're. I didn't send out links individually. I just put them into the group tonight. But let me make a.
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
Okay, I was gonna.
I got it.
Okay.
I hope. Yeah, I'm sending it now.
Okay.
I gotta find. There it is. Right here.
Okay, there it is. Usually I make sure I put that link together when before we go live, but I sat down about 6:55 and I was staring off into space and I looked down and it was a minute after 7, so I apologize.
It's all right, Dave. That's how I spend most of my day.
Well, I was waiting to see if President Trump was going to respond to my invitation to be on, making sure that he'd come on. I wouldn't know what to do if he actually showed up.
Just tell him
on a broadcast.
Just tell him you're Dan Bongino. That's okay.
Nah. I probably just have to tell him that I'm. He's not joining. Well, wait a minute. All right, Stephen, I have to laugh because you asked where your opinion is always welcome, Steve.
Tricky.
Okay. I apologize that you have a massive headache.
Yeah.
And you can't join us from 10 hours of mind-numbing meetings with politicians who don't know what the heck they're doing. You ought to just bring them here and we could grill them for 2.5 hours. I hope you feel better, Stephen. I really do. And Helen asks, I have to read this. Is your broadcasting on another YouTube channel? It's the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, Alan. It's the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and if you go look, it's there, and it's easy to find.
Yeah, but
I think we're up to
Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
It's also on Facebook.
Right. Right. We're live on my Facebook profile and we're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel only because that allows me to be able to share it to places, not sharing it from Facebook. So, I think the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel is up to 32 subscribers, which means that we still have something like 870 something or 860 something that have to before we have 1,000 who have watched 4,000 hours, and then we get a few pennies. But I probably won't get a few pennies because they don't like me. They find reasons to delete my broadcast from YouTube all the time. And we may look at Rumble eventually. The main reason that I don't is that in the 4 years we've been doing this, every time I say we will be on YouTube this week, hoping everybody will go to YouTube and watch it, nobody does. So it's kind of playing into that as long as Facebook is a destination that people are watching, we'll probably stay here. And, well, Stephen, I'll tell you what, I'll campaign for you hard here in Florida, which is where I am. And if you get elected, I want to be your FCC chairman. We can talk about that later. Only because deep in the bowels of the FCC rules and regulations is Obama's net neutrality executive order where he gave regulatory authority to the internet. But we can talk about that later. And it would be cool. What channel is this? What channel this is? Alan, you're watching this on my Dave Glovin profile here on Facebook. But at the same time, we are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search Boogie with the Bull, and you will find it. It will most likely bring up the most recent broadcast, which would have been last Thursday, and then from there it'll drop you on to what is actually the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Anyway, Randy Rhodes, Robin Brunson sent you a friend request, and Jerry, Stephen Tolliver wants you to know that he declared that he is seriously considering running for Boogie with the Bull. Running for president with on tonight's Boogie with the Bull. And he wants you to be his running mate.
Good Lord. Do you see that? It looks like Obama's going to get. Looks like Obama's going to get away with the murder of the chef.
Oh, yeah.
She sent me a friend request. Well.
Okay, I'm going to come up. The dogs are barking only because people came in. It should stop in a moment. But Robin, his last name is Rhodes, Rhodes.
Yeah, I see her on my screen, but she didn't send me a request. Make sure I can find her.
She put Rhodesia. Randy Rhodesia.
I like that. Tonight's Boogie with the Bull broadcast will be hosted by Randy Rhodesia.
Yeah, that sounds like a porn name. That sounds like a porn name. All you need to
Ronaldo Jeremy.
Yeah,
Ronaldo Jeremy and Randy Rhodesia.
Okay, so I accepted it.
All right.
No, Dave.
Everybody should send Randy a. And if you're nice to Robin and Randy, you never know, you might get a special gift that Robin's been known to give to her friends, and it's really good stuff. You will enjoy it very much.
I've seen her on your show. I recognize the face now.
Well, if you, yeah.
That's like I'm doing this one project cool. for a friend for the SIA. And I'm going through all these people's profiles. And my wife happens to be in the office at the time that I click on this one guy's profile. and the whole thing is just loaded with nude females, right?
So-
And my wife looks at me like I'm looking at porn. I said, "It's not me.
Cloned.
That's her stuff."
It's cloned.
Yeah.
That's what the cloners do. They take your profile and then they add in all that stuff, and it's not fun.
And God,
It was not fun.
you know, God forbid we say we hate Biden or want Biden dead. We're bad people, but but you know, and I'm not against naked women. I'm for them actually, but the problem is not that. The problem is the two-sided. Yeah, they can do it. You know, these ones where you see all the time. Like I'm into tools and stuff. You see it all the time. You know, like Amazon, they're giving away like for $50 each these like $5,000 toolboxes, which is a scam. They take your money, and then you know you never see anything remotely close to a toolbox. And then when you complain about it, they win for some reason. I don't get it. They win, and I don't know how it works exactly, but I do know that they win. You know, so yeah, it's a joke. I mean, I probably nudity on Facebook should probably be allowed if you want to talk about freedom of speech. If you want to talk about freedom of speech, but
The only
you know, there needs to be like you have on your TV or something. You know, you can cut it off for kids and that kind of thing. Okay. You know, what they call it, parental controls, but they don't do that anymore. They don't do it. So,
Yeah.
hey, Michael
the only
Anthony, how you
nudity,
doing? Good to see
the
you.
only nudity you're ever going to see on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast is the 3/4 nude of my head.
And that's too much.
And it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
It gets any
Dave.
further up, Dave. We're going to have to ask you to wear a hat or some kind of cover, okay?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Dave,
Yeah.
it's coming, Dave. It's coming. It's coming. You're going to have a clear hairdo before it's over.
Come on. I don't have much left now. Why can't it just be over?
Yeah. Well, keep it up, Dave, and it will be. I see
I guess
7
you
or 8
see-
of them in the middle of your hair. You got.
I guess you save a lot on shampoo and haircuts. Although I guess when you go bald, that's when you stop using shampoo.
Did you guys wear hats when you were younger?
What?
I know Jerry did with the Marines, because I was always told if you wear hats, it makes you go bald faster or younger.
It does. It does. Especially like I wore hats since I can't even remember how long. It's been that long. And at one time I had like 300-400 baseball hats, you know, just different things on them and whatnot. And I'd wear one and then I'd wear it for a couple of days and wear another one and on and on and on. And the place I found that it started was where the back of the hat hit my head, right back in the back here. And there was like a dime-sized bald spot. And I noticed first night of my life, and it did. And then one day I was married the first time. I was sitting in the living room watching TV or something. And I just went in and shaved it off. And I came out and they all were looking at me like, what the hell did you do? And it's been that way ever since. And it's easy to take care of.
You don't need shampoo, you just get body wash.
I actually use shampoo in the shower. I do. I use shampoo in the shower. I don't care. You know, I get out of there. I don't hear too many complaints about BO, so I'm good. But that's why, you know, and I'll put conditioner on my head to keep it from you know, wrinkling up like an old wrestler or something. And sometimes I'll put cream on it, you know, that kind of thing. But in the end, I actually, I'm used to it now, so don't bother me. It
When
really
you
don't.
go out in the sun, do you have to put sunscreen on it?
No, I wear a bandana when I'm working around the house. I've never been able to wear a hat when I work because it always
Yeah.
get in the way. So I've been wearing. I got 150 bandanas in a drawer. It takes up the whole drawer. That and I wear them about twice a year sometimes. But I wear that. So what happens is I get sunburn from here down and look like I have a glass of Kool-Aid.
Steven says he
Sorry.
wore welder's caps for almost 50 years and he's not bald yet. Keyword yet.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Go jump out of an airplane, Steven, with wax wings on. See how far that gets you.
He told me, I
Braggart.
thought he said the other day he was going to fund the GoFundMe cameras so that I could broadcast him live when he jumps.
Yeah, that's what he says. But I don't know. Why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? I never understood that. I wore a hard hat hard hats are the worst. They're the worst because not only do you like lose hair from them, but I mean you take it off, you'll see the hair inside them. You sweat like a dog. There's no hope. The sun's beating down on plastic, which is on your head that turns it into a furnace.
Yep.
So it's I don't know. I wear I like I have
Are you
one in
older,
my put it on, and I'm
Steven? Are
also
you older than Jerry?
I'm not gonna lie, I do it. Yeah, I don't know. He's
Yeah,
like
he is.
82 or something. I don't know. 72. Something. I don't know. He's old.
No, see, that's why he's jumping out of.
24 heart attack.
That's why he's jumping on the
You said
jumping out of the airplane. He's got one foot in the grave and wants to get the other one there before he lands.
I guess. I don't know. I've tried to talk him out of it. It's a stupid thing, and he keeps doing it, and it's just it has to stop. All right. And at least put us all in your will if you're going to do that. I mean, if you're going to throw your life away, put us all in your will. Make it
Well, I
worth
heard he
our
was.
while.
I heard he was.
We'll be.
I heard he put you in his
Listen,
will, but
Steven,
you have to
put
move.
me in your will. I'll cheer you all the way to the ground. I promise you. Just cheer you
I-
right down. No problem. Yeah, go.
I heard he
go,
put.
flat. Yeah.
I heard he put you in his will, but you have to move.
No, I'll tell you what he did. He put me in his
He
will,
froze up, Dave.
and after I'm all ecstatic, I'm all ecstatic about being rich, and I'll find out he left me $12. That's what'll happen. And he'll be laughing in the grave at me.
I was working on someone's research on their family this morning, and I was reading the guy's will. Right, they were talking back in the 1700s, not right. So reading the guy's will, and the guy has 3 sons, and he left them $1 to be split evenly between 3 sons. I'm thinking to myself, $1? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I think Warren Buffett did the same thing. He didn't.
Says Jerry, poor Jerry.
Yeah.
I think Warren trusts. The private don't sound like Jerry's involved. That irritates him, Steven. And think how Jimmy Collins will feel if he's not involved, because he's been begging for I don't know months. He has no pride, and now I realize that's the right way to go. Will you wear the cheerleader's outfit with the pom poms, Jerry? Well, when I'm cheering Steve down to the ground, no. I'm only willing to go so far for $12. So, sorry about that.
Steven says he won't even have a will. Everything's in a private trust. Well, will you name Jerry as an executor to the private trust?
Oh yeah, sure he will. Yeah, I'm sure, because his family would love that. All 38 of them. He's got like 18 kids. I forget. He got this enormous amount of kids, and then grandkids. They come to his house. He needs to buy a turkey farm just to feed them on Thanksgiving. It's insane.
Well, doesn't he have a tribe he has to take care of as well?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Most of them, I think, take care of themselves.
A
You
private
raised them
trust
right.
means that the
They all work
government cannot get any money due to inheritance taxes.
to
So,
yeah.
so to make Jerry the head of your private trust.
He actually explained all that I don't know, a few weeks ago or something. So,
Yeah.
Anything, how sad is it that there's a death tax in this country? You can't even die without paying the government. That's why when I die, I'm going to die in the fire in my house with all my stuff, and then they can have what's left.
If you die and you leave it all to the government, does the government have to pay the death taxes on it?
I hope so. I don't care. It'd be the next guy. But that's ridiculous. We have a death tax. I mean, it's ridiculous. Most of the taxes we pay are ridiculous because they don't use them for what they're supposed to be used for. But I mean, a death tax, really? Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
Well, I thought Trump had got rid of that.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Or did Democrats bring it back?
Probably.
They may have. I
Probably
don't
now
know.
that they got
I don't
Biden.
remember him getting rid of. Stephen would know because he has one. So I don't. I remember him. Now that you mentioned it, talking about that. But I don't remember if he actually did or not. There were so many other things he did. Maybe he got lost in the shuffle or something. God knows he couldn't do any of it through the House or Senate. A will can be contested in probate court, but a private trust cannot be taxed in any way. Yeah, well, when my dad died, and the two scumbags that were his executors in Alabama, you can't even speak at a probate hearing unless you have a lawyer, and the lawyer starts at 10 grand. Okay. Period. We called 50 lawyers, my wife, all of them. 10,000.
Ouch.
So even stuff, I didn't want any of his money. I just wanted some stuff from my childhood that I never got because they were being, after I caught the fact that the husband stole money out of the house and a lot of it. Well, my father lay dying in a fucking hospital, and I was thinking of doing things for this guy because I didn't like him anyway, and my dad didn't even like him, but he liked the wife, which was the problem. And she actually works for Senator Tommy Tuberville in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama.
At his office there, yeah. She's like a muckety muck. She's last I heard, she was in charge of voter, people calling in and talking and saying things. She was in charge of all that. So, and Tommy Tuberville's a piece of shit too.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many posts of his that I wrote on there. It's too bad you don't think about this when you hire thieves for your freaking office to steal from dead men. And one person in 2 years said something, and I explained what happened, and that was it. And it wasn't anybody who worked for him.
I don't know.
I can only hope they died.
Yeah.
Horribly. Maybe a Muslim will get them and do my work for me. That'd be nice. I'm sorry.
I know when,
No, that's all right. Well, the worst thing they can do is kick me off of Facebook and sell my soul to Rumble.
I know
They do
when my
have a
dad
free.
They what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
I know when my dad passed away, in his will, he had wanted to give my brother and me, a fairly nice sum of money, but my mom somehow was able to get the will changed and wrote all that stuff out, so that money went to her and not to my brother and I. And the only reason why I knew that is when my dad, died and my mom died. I was going through all the paperwork. I found my dad's original will, which showed that he was going to leave us money, but then my mom, changed it.
Uh-oh. Did you read that,
Yeah.
Jerry? If Steven decides to run, he has to first apply in Pennsylvania. Then he's coming to Florida to make you his campaign manager.
Yeah, that would make him lose, so he probably shouldn't do that. I'd be
He's
the guy in the
gonna have
paper
you up-
saying, Steve Oliver fired his campaign manager today because he punched somebody in the face and because the guy said something he didn't like. Yeah,
He's going to have you up
why people don't
to make
understand.
sure. Go ahead.
To be a politician, you have to have a certain amount of, you don't have to be crooked, but you do have to have a certain amount of patience and such. And I do not have patience for stupidity, which seems to run rampant in Washington and everywhere else there's politics.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
But there's been a lot of good people running for politics, and they all said really good things until they got to the White House, and then everything changed. They became part of the problem. It's almost like there's no way of getting something good to happen because make all these promises and they get there and they start doing their thing, and next thing you know, all the good stuff went out the window and they're doing what everybody else is doing.
Well, I think they learn one. I think they're told, promise everything while you're running. Then when you get there, learn how you're not going to be able to do it. And thanks for that comment, Alan. We're going to drop down here to. I will be bailing you out, Jerry, not firing you. I'll probably be punching people with you. Good. That works.
Well, here's what I always say. Politicians work for the people right up until they get elected, and then they work for themselves because they're getting paid for everything they do. That's how they make millions and millions of dollars between the lobbyists, between the campaign funds, Bernie Sanders just got caught sending campaign funds to his wife's nonprofit. Not exactly sure how that is possible, but apparently it's going to be swept under the rug, so we'll never know. AOC has done the same thing. Ilhan Omar has done the same thing. Not to mention the insider trading and everything else they do. They're useless. All they care about is their bank account, and they stop caring about us the minute we vote them in with a lot of hope and, everything else. And then we turn around and exactly what Randy and Dave just said is exactly what the hell they do.
Ooh, I wish I had been there. Steven says he came close to punching No Nads Nadler today. Oh, I'm impressed. Someone else calls him No Nads. I thought I was one of the few people that called Jerry Nadler Jerry No Nads. But,
I call him Weeble because that's what he looks like. But
I probably can't type that into a telegram.
Getting mad at him is not hard. That guy is just, the corruption drips off of him for some reason. It's him and what's the one with the Popeye, Schiff. It drips off them like, they just went into a pool full of corruption and just got out. It's disgusting.
But what doesn't make any sense to me is, Adam Schiff is just Adam Schiff. He doesn't belong there anyway. But No Nads has always, go There's got to be some dirt that if we ever dug up on him, he'd be gone. Aside from being a brain dead idiot, but because I always figured that he was just.
Most of them are not brain dead idiots. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. No, I know Adam Schiff
They're doing
does,
it.
but, yeah.
It's like everybody calls them stupid. They're not, because here's the deal: if they were stupid, they wouldn't be in office. What they do
That's
know
true.
is the ones who are stupid are the ones who keep voting them back in, or and the ones that continuously cheat and so on and so forth. Those are the stupid ones. Okay, I mean, if you live in the inner city in California and you're voting for Maxine Waters because of the color of her skin, you're an idiot. But you are a
Yes,
useful one to Maxine Waters.
right. You're not more intelligent than a fifth grader. And Jeff Foxworthy could probably prove it. But,
Yeah, and let's face it, Maxine ain't bright at all. So, I mean, she is constantly, I guess, and there's some group out there that constantly votes her the most corrupt politician in Washington. And every time she runs for something, she's handing her daughter hundreds of thousands of dollars from her campaign to like make copies and stuff, some ridiculous thing that don't cost that much. And they just keep on keeping on voting them in, including the city councils, all that. It's state politics, it's local politics, it's everything. They're all corrupted. It all dribbles down from the top.
Yeah. We have them on our side too, though. Susan Collins in Maine, every time it's time to run for re-election, says, I don't have the money to do it, I'm going to be done. And all of a sudden she has a war chest bigger than the biggest war chest already there. And she's back. The only good thing I can say about Mitt Romney in the short time he's been a politician is that I'm glad to see that he's not running for re-election, but he does support the impeachment of President Biden, but probably only because he's not running for re-election. And
he's been a politician for a long time. He was
governor of California while I lived there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then wasn't he also? Well, he ran for president, so I guess
he ran for president.
Yeah, all right.
He left California, I forget what year, and then moved to Utah. Established residency there, and then ran, and he's been in that seat for God knows how long. He's another one who he doesn't need the money that he's making. I mean, he probably made a lot more money than while he was there, but he does not need the money from being United States senator.
No, he's not the one.
No, he owns.
You know what? Mitt Romney is garbage.
He owns Bain Capital, which is one of the largest venture capitals.
Yeah.
It's not huge. It's not a BlackRock or Vanguard or State Street, but they own Domino's Pizza. They own a bunch of other things. They don't buy businesses to clean them up and spin them off. They buy them to hold on to them for the long haul. And
right. And then they screw them up anyway.
Then they screw them up and sell.
That's the problem. Yeah, but one of the problems that you ever notice, nothing outside the house tastes the same as it used to, like McDonald's or any of these, is because all they care about. All they do is care about profit. So what's one of the things you're going to do? Well, you're going to make the cheapest ingredients you can find, even if they're not hamburgers, and that kind of thing. Because I can remember going to McDonald's when they actually served hamburgers. Okay, it wasn't some frozen ass, whatever the hell it is. I don't even know, to be truthful. They used to say it was tofu or something. I don't really believe that. I've had this stuff, and everything at McDonald's doesn't have taste. Like, you buy a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. It has no taste unless you put a ton of salt and pepper on it.
Right. Yeah.
which is like, I don't know. I guess it fills you up, but it's not food. I'm sorry,
And the
but
weird thing is,
McDonald's is coming up with new crap on the menu and knew this and knew that and knew this and knew that. And here's the deal: start selling real food, put it back on the grill, take it out of the damn microwave because that was another thing. Okay, and start actually making good food and hire competent people. If you can find competent teenagers that know how to count change and are able to get your order right. Because I got to tell you, every time I go to McDonald's, my wife's order comes out wrong because she always asks for like no pickles and no onions, and without fail, it has pickles and onions on it or something. It's like, good God.
But you had said you made a comment about McDonald's doesn't even taste. I can tell you here with our local one, I'll order a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger with however, and I swear to God, by the time you drive away from the window and take a bite in the parking lot, it doesn't taste like a McDonald's hamburger ever did.
Well, you ever see those videos where they show the hamburger and they show that weeks, months, years later the shit doesn't mold?
Yeah. My wife, with the preschoolers in Connecticut, that's what they used to do. They take a McDonald's hamburger and bury it, and they'd mark where they'd buried it. And every few days they would go and dig it up and look at it, and it never changed. Or they put it in a little Tupperware tub and keep it in the classroom. And 20 probably. Well, she taught for 30 years, so probably 29 years later, that thing is still in that tub in that classroom.
Yeah, makes you wonder.
And look at who is in charge of telling these companies what is fit to eat. The United States government is. So all the steroids and the garbage in the food. I mean, I'm talking about this like when you're raising cows, when you're I don't know, chickens, whatever. Okay. Look at the crap they put in them. And then look at, I went to the store the other day. I was going to buy a whole chicken and I was going to put in a roaster for my wife. And the damn thing was like literally this big. Okay. And I think it was like $7-8. I mean, I think they may be just taking the chicks right from the mom and putting them in the store. I don't know. But all this extra added stuff is put in is allowed by the United States government. They're poisoning us. That's why everybody's got freaking cancer or something.
They're taking Cornish game hams, pumping some air into them, and selling them as whole chickens.
Something.
Nicky Young.
I'm surviving.
I'm upset with you, Mr. Young. But I apologize because the other day you were on the American Rebellion broadcast, and I kept sending you text messages saying, "Show the bag, show the bag, show the bag." But I got to tell you, Jerry, did you? I must have done it when I must have turned my head and didn't see it because I was going to tell Jerry that I kept sending you messages saying, "Show the bag," and you didn't actually show the bag.
I did. I mean, twice.
And
here you go.
The best way to get him to do something is not tell him to do it. And the other thing about Nick is, I don't know. He's giving these people a lot of advertising, and I ain't seeing no money come out of it. So I'm a little worried.
Well, you can't read the bag anyway. You just see the bag.
Well, there's that. But,
that's all you have to do in these things where you just have to have product placement, and Nick is doing the product placement, and we're not getting no money out of it.
Get the tea. The tea that makes you go.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Like that,
yeah. The tea that makes you go.
Hey, Nick, how soon after drinking that does it kick
in? Pretty much. You're making a turd or two the next day.
Oh, so a 24-hour turnaround. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty quick, but it's solid. Just saying, it's not like the drizzlings or anything like that. It's pretty good stuff. Kind of binds you up a little bit. Kind of like it's fiber,
The drizzlings.
basically, is what's in it.
See, I got
Oh,
a
God.
truly bipartisan mug for when you're drinking your tea, because you can hold it in your left hand, and everybody can see that you're a left wing communist whack
Yeah.
job, or you can hold it in your right hand. Everybody knows you're not.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
That was
suspected this for years. We just say it out loud. We don't really have proof, but we suspected. I don't know.
Hey, yo,
He's just-
yeah, my son, and I won't mention any names.
your son.
When he takes a dump, he will take a freaking picture, and we get this text, and we open up the text, and here's this damn picture. It's like,
Was he autographed?
why?
Oh, nice.
Hey,
That's
did
not
you
weird
not
at
believe
all.
he was doing it?
Most people take pictures of their food
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff
not weird
and
at all.
post that.
At all, really.
If they're eating out at a
Hey,
restaurant,
I'm not going to
they got
Randy's
some
house
fancy
anymore.
meal.
Ever.
I've never been to Randy's house.
I don't think I want to go
Yeah,
there.
me neither. But I'm
At this
just
point.
getting ahead of the game right now.
All right, Stephen,
But,
you're flying home. Flying home from where? Can you watch us on the plane, Stephen?
no, you can't watch on the plane. It's not like they can screw a satellite dish inside of the freaking plane.
Oh, come on! The man's 73 years old with a fleet of planes and homes and this and that and whatever. And I mean, I'd want to be on his plane flying somewhere, be able to do the damn broadcast.
Yes, well, I got
I'm
called
60
tonight.
years old with a fleet of lawnmowers. I got that.
Oh,
that
you
helps,
you got
Dave, if we could my barn.
well, you're
Yeah,
still
no problem.
the best Jerry video I have ever seen was Jerry having to move the tractor with the dead battery out
Yes.
so that he could start the one with the good battery so he could drive that out and then use that to push the one with the dead battery back in. Because
Yeah.
Nikki and I have laughed about that every single time. Tell that
That was
But
funny.
you would think that he would take the battery out of the one, take the good battery, put it back in the back one, back that one out of the way, then put the battery back
What
in
you
the
don't know is it
other
took
one.
me like 4 tries to actually say that because I kept throwing it up.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
well,
too
we had
hard, Dave. That's
we
too
had a
hard to
cure
do
for that in the limousine business. We used to tell people the first car that gets back to the space backs in, and the other one goes in, nose in. That way, if for any reason, when one of the two of you gets there the next morning and you can't start your car, they're nose to nose so they can be jumped.
Jump start. Yeah. Dave,
Yes,
you're
well, guys,
thinking,
I
man.
got called tonight.
Actually,
All right, Randy.
Got a call
Always a
tonight.
pleasure.
The
Yeah.
president?
Great to be here. You guys have
I
fun.
actually
Well, I had you here. I'm very glad you were
I
here.
appreciate the
Take care.
shout out last night, Jerry.
Yeah,
oh, no problem, man. That's no problem.
Hey,
definitely.
Coming
One-
from me tonight.
Anytime.
right. You wanna do it now, Randy? Let me.
Sure,
I
sure.
don't know how to get you to be just the only one on camera for a second, but go ahead.
Sure. I am all roads lead to home genealogist. I wouldn't say I'm a genealogist to the stars, but certainly to the southern nation of the Confederates. That seem to be my biggest clientele right now. But I do genealogy for anybody who's looking for questions about their family, even if it's just a question as to why doesn't my family talk to each other. I can probably find out the reason why. My rates are extremely reasonable. I worked at maybe $8 an hour as opposed to 45. And I gave you the 15 minutes.
$1 a month.
Yeah, I get. Well, if you're it's $250 a month for the entire month. You get 2 hours of my time every day, guaranteed. And I'll find out things you might not want to know.
So I can
things
call
are
you at
good
3
here.
o'clock in the morning and ask you a question.
Oh yeah, I answer my dings all the time, so you can reach out to me. But yeah, 15 minutes gets you at least 6 generations
Don't say
for
that.
free.
You upped it. It used to be 15 minutes got you
Don't say
5
that.
generations.
Yeah, the algorithms
No,
are very
listen.
quick. I can go back further sometimes. It gives you an idea of what I can do. I can
Don't tell
find
Dave
out for you. So
Don't tell
yeah, reach
Dave
out
it's
to me.
okay to call you at 3 in the morning. He will actually do it. I'm telling you.
Oh, trust
Okay.
me.
I mean, I've been
I
woke
might
up by
message. I might message him, but
But I do have the option to ignore them as well. But you guys
I only
take
asked
care.
him. I only.
Randy.
I'll explain why I asked him that question after he
See ya.
Randy, if you research my family, you're gonna find out answers you don't want to know.
Well, the one thing about this job is the fact that I learned so much. And I love history. I love all periods of time. But the things I learned, especially when you see what our forefathers did to get here, to survive once they got here, and to make us who we are. When I look at the generations that are going to be following me, it's like they are wussies. They're not going to do shit to, take care of themselves or protect this nation. Some of the ancestors I found for my clients, they had to go through like 4 or 5 different damn wars, just to survive. I was like, damn, they left England because of so bad conditions. They come here, they wind up fighting the Indians, they fight the British, they fight the French, and they get into a Revolutionary War. I was like, damn. Yeah, well, you guys have fun. Don't talk
make
about
sure
it
you
too
do it
much.
with a parachute. Don't be like Steven. Jump with a parachute.
Oh, yeah.
But
Unfortunately,
don't
I
jump
packed my
out a
own, I
good
don't trust it.
airplane.
You're almost as old as Steven, so you got to jump with the parachute.
See ya.
All right. Randy Rhodes, all roads lead to home. Genealogy Services. You see the page on Facebook. I don't know if you see it on YouTube, but you see it on Facebook. So go give him a plug. And the only reason I always ask people when they say you can call me anytime about calling them at 3 o'clock in the morning is I have a admin who is disabled and she sleeps during the day and she's up at night. She lives in Arizona, and from midnight until about 3:30 in the morning is when she posts in all of our groups. So that's all. I mean, I don't care. I won't call anybody at 3 o'clock in the morning because I probably won't even hear my phone ring if you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, I'll just ignore it.
Unless you wake up the Chihuahua. If you wake up the Chihuahua, then you're in trouble. If you wake up the Chihuahua, then you're in trouble. But so where are we now, gentlemen? What's next?
Well, I'm a little late because
I actually got to go too, so I'm gonna go.
All right.
But I hope everybody has a good night, and thanks for asking me on, Dave. I appreciate it. But I gotta go do some stuff. So take care of yourself.
All right.
Nick,
All right.
see you tomorrow.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, so I'm a little late, Dave, because my older brother called me at the witching hour and needed a favor because his fairly new truck, new to him, it's like a 2020 Dodge Ram Billy Badass truck. It's only got like 20,000 miles on it. Well, he can't put gas in it.
Oh, I was going to say, I hope he didn't let your mother drive it. Now he can't find the fob.
No. Well, no. Whole different thing. Although he did say he left his damn garage door opener in his truck when he brought it to the dealership, which is quite a ways away. But anyway, so he's like, bruh, since you have a car lot over there, you got one I can borrow for a little while? I was like, yeah. I mean, shit. I can't drive them all at one time.
What's the cost to get the vet for a day?
Yeah, well, vet won't run right now. But anyway, so he says, so he gives me the spiel on his truck, which he can't pump gas into his truck.
What do you mean?
It won't allow it. It's the tank is like vacuum sealed or something.
How the
It
hell does
won't.
that
It,
happen?
it well, he had enough gas to get to the dealership, and they said, yeah, it's a tank problem. There's a problem in the tank that caused the vacuum seal that
Yeah.
won't allow gas to go into the
Right.
tank. And I'm like, holy shit, what? I'd never heard of this crap.
I hope it's not a simple fix like they,
Oh, they
get
got to
underneath
change
with
the
a
tank.
hammer and a nail and bang a hole in it and let
Well, there'd be that.
and let it seep out, because with my line it could be ba 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 boom.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they have to change the entire gas tank on that truck.
Ooh,
And a couple of
expensive.
other parts, because there's like a charcoal filter in there
Yeah.
and all kind of shit. Well, but
It's expensive.
well, it's going to cost him $100 because he has a warranty, an extended
Oh,
warranty
okay.
on the
Yeah, because
truck. He
my
pays
mother's
$100 on that, but
my
then he
mother's
gets
Toyota
this.
was I think near $800 when they replaced her tank.
Yeah, but then he starts getting, because it's all leather and all this good shit. It's the Mac Daddy Dodge Ram truck, 5.7 liter. I mean, it's beautiful truck.
Oh God.
Well, but then he has leather on his dashboard, and it started bubbling. The
From the
leather,
gas fumes.
no, is bubbling off the dashboard, probably because of the heat.
Yeah.
Him and his wife went to Aruba a few weeks ago, and he had the truck parked at the New Orleans airport out in the middle of nowhere in the open, and the sun's beating down, and it just took its toll that quick. They were only there like 4 or 5 days.
How?
And then but he's like, okay, so the tank is on back order, and they have no clue when it's going to
What
be.
is he supposed to do until they get him a tank?
That's why he called me to borrow one of my vehicles.
Don't let him borrow your pickup truck.
Well, I didn't. No, I gave him my Ford Edge.
Nice car.
Yeah.
But wait, you got a Ford Edge and an Equinox?
And a Dodge Ram.
Which one do you like better, the Equinox or the Edge?
Personally, I like the Edge.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, except the fact that, and I'll tell you the story real quick. I had the whole AC system changed out.
Okay.
And it's still shit. It blows harder on the passenger side than the driver's side. So there's something in there.
Yeah.
And it keeps losing Freon. So I told my brother, I said, I'll give you that. I'll let you use the Edge, because the Dodge Ram, I need to go get it inspected in the whole night. I've just been putting it off.
Yeah.
So with the Edge, because I don't drive either one of them, I had the new the plate registration sticker. I had to put it on the plate, and I had the registration. I had the new insurance cards. I put it all in the glove box. I did all this shit, but then kept getting low tire pressure on the car. Well, it's just been sitting there.
Yeah.
So every tire was low. So I filled them all up with air, and then charged up the AC system so that it actually blows, because it keeps losing Freon even after spending $1,700 on a new AC system.
Is there a leak somewhere?
It's got to be, but I can't figure out where it's at. And then I used there's this spray that you can use that you turn your AC on outside air,
Yeah.
put it on max, and you spray it in underneath where the windshield wipers are, and it aerates the car. It smells like a dream. So I said, I got y'all hooked up, brother. You just keep it. It's got half a tank of gas. It's good on gas.
Return it with a half a tank and you're okay.
Yeah. Said I haven't driven it. You need to drive it, do something, because I said you might hear some grinding on the brakes because it's probably some rust over or something. I said, but it's a 6-cylinder, and it's got some pep in its step.
Yeah.
So he was backing out my driveway because they came eat supper tonight, him and his wife, because she had to bring him here because he's on foot. And he's been working from home for the past couple of days because his truck's stuck in the damn dealership. And he's backing up, and he goes to leave out. He rolls down the window. He's like, it's got some pep in the step. Like, be careful. It's a sensitive gas pedal.
Yeah.
Because I go from my Equinox, which is a 4-cylinder, and it's actually a turbo. And then I go to the Edge, which is a 6-cylinder, and it's not a turbo. But that Edge will peel out on a dime because the gas pedal's totally different. In every vehicle you can drive, totally different. Try driving a Vet. That's a trick.
I don't know. For the longest time, I never bought a personal car for me that wasn't a 4-door, just because everything I had in business was at least a 4-door. So I never thought about Vets.
My only 2-door is my Vet.
Yeah.
Everything else is a 4-door. My truck's a 4-door. So, yeah.
You should get an official looking envelope. They probably have one on Amazon that says classified documents or something, and just put some BS pieces of paper in there and then leave it in the glove box. You know, is it the same color as Biden's?
No, mine's red.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, his is that like
green. Yeah, it's like an emerald green.
Bluish something or another. I don't know what the hell color that is. No, mine's red like your shirt.
Oh, cool. I'd be in trouble driving a red Corvette.
Well,
I have a heavy
little red Corvette. You know, Prince made a song about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd get in trouble driving anything these days. But in the days when I could drive, I'd be in trouble with a red Corvette because I do have a little bit of a lead foot.
Well, so. And it's a stick.
I can drive a stick.
Yeah, and it's got racing clutches and all kind of extra.
I probably wouldn't want to. My girlfriend's father loaned me a early, late 50s Volkswagen Bug that he had just restored, and I managed to burn the clutch on it before I gave it back to him. He was not happy. He wouldn't let me drive it anymore. I said I should have told you probably before. I'm a known clutch rider until I drive it long enough and get the feel of it.
This one's it's like really tight, so you really have to put some leg into it.
Yeah.
To get it going, and it's a racing. It's a stage 2 racing clutch. So once you get out of first gear, you don't even have to clutch. You just throw it into the next gear and go.
Serious?
Yeah. That's what a racing
clutch. See, I could do something.
Like a race car driver.
I could handle something.
They don't clutch.
Something like that.
Yeah. They don't clutch after they leave the starting line.
Yeah.
They just throw it into gear. That's what this Vet does.
I know Volkswagen had something on the older Bugs for a while called, I think, Auto Stick, where you didn't have to step on the clutch to change. I looked at one. I really wanted to buy
That's
it, but
exactly what this is.
yeah, they wanted a little bit more money than I could afford
Yeah. Well, the
to do on it.
original owner put all that money into it until I bought it. So yeah, but yeah, it
And now it
runs.
just sits at Jerry. I mean, now it just sits at Nikki's Nikki's tea
underneath
tea
the
shop and wholesale car museum.
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
see, it worked out well, Dave, because my brother needed a vehicle, a
Yeah.
loaner. He said, "I don't want to have to rent a vehicle." It's like, dude, I got plenty.
Yeah. Well, see, I would have said how much, and then based off when he told me how much, then I would have gone out and gone, okay, yeah, this is a $50 a day car.
No, he'd have probably paid me, but I'm not gonna.
No, I know.
You know, me and him were like 21 months apart. We're like we fought like dogs back in the day,
Yeah.
but now we're like best bros. You know, he's like a best friend to me.
Yeah.
And my little brother is too. He's just a little off with his crazy hypochondriac wife. But my older brother, we're a lot closer. My younger brother, we're 8 years apart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my younger brother was a menopause baby, so to speak,
Oh.
because mom went through menopause early,
Yeah.
and she was only in her early 30s. But anyway, me and my older brother, we did some nefarious crap when we were kids, and I covered for his ass for a long time when he was doing some stupid crap. I mean, he was no good back then. He
Yeah.
decided to get his mind right, his life right, and now he's a junior partner in a CPA
Ooh.
firm. Yeah, he's no dummy. He is no dummy.
He'll figure out the death taxes he's going to owe when you give him the Corvette before you give it
Yeah,
to him.
exactly. Like, if I have a tax question, all I got to do is ask him. He'll figure it out. I mean, he does more governmental auditing. Like he audits like local governments
Oh, okay.
for fraud and you know, that state government. He does the whole thing. He's an
What about
auditor.
federal governments?
I wish he did federal governments.
Could
But
you imagine if you were an accountant and the federal government hired you to do an audit looking for fraud? And if you actually found fraud, what they would,
oh, you'd be sent to the gulag right away.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't make it out of the building.
No, you'd be a J6er at that point. Send him to the gulag. 47 years. Guilty.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
47 years on all 47 charges to run
Currently.
from one to the next one.
Yes, exactly.
It's like I laugh when you watch some trials and it's like, you're guilty and I'm sending you to prison for 1,000 years, but it runs concurrently while you're there, so that you have to serve you only have to serve 1,000-year term. Yeah. What I've always wondered was, they send you to life, send you to prison for life. If you have a heart attack and they declare you dead, but they bring you back, do you get out?
Doubt it. Now, technically, I think life is only like 20 years.
Yeah.
Technically. So, life, to a 21-year-old. At 41, they could get out on, parole, because it's 20 years.
61-year-old like me, I'm going to be 81.
Well, yeah, and so, but if you live to 100 and good, if you live that long, you might be able to plead to be able to be paroled. you know.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who
I mean,
knows?
only the criminals, the real criminals, uh, the
Yeah.
murderers and all that shit. They don't even go to prison. They just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul. Go back home. Slap on the wrist. Be
Do
good.
it again. Come back.
Do it again. Come back. No
Yeah.
bail. Nothing.
Do it again. Get deported back to where they came from.
Yeah,
Come
come
back
back
in
in.
here. Do it again.
We'll just allow you back in, and Jesus Christ, revolving door is what we have at the border.
Yeah.
Revolving door.
Well, Trump seemed to hit upon that a lot. That the current regime doesn't seem to understand that what is coming here illegally is usually not what those countries want there.
Yeah, they're getting rid of their
Get rid of
bad
their
people.
criminals, clean out their jails, and then,
Yes.
I mean, I actually for a while started wondering if maybe it would be better to move to Ukraine. In the beginning, when we were sending so much money there, I mean, there's nobody there.
We're still
move,
sending money.
like move, all these people coming up from like Honduras and all these other countries that we used to give money to. They're not giving money to them anymore, but all of them are here. So you can probably move to Honduras and get a job making $2.50 a day and probably live like a king for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Venezuela. Whole nine yards. Yeah.
Well, Venezuela, I might have to work in the oil fields. I don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah. That's the only thing they had, the oil fields, but then they screwed the pooch when they went full communism. So Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world.
Yeah, did they own Citgo? Wasn't that their oil company? Yeah.
And they screwed the pooch on that shit when they decided to go full communist. Like, oh my God, what the hell? These stupid people. Cuba. Cuba went communist and now they're, it's a shithole. One of the shitholes of the earth, like Trump would say, just like Venezuela.
What were they before Castro? Because didn't Castro just like stage a coup and take over?
Yeah.
So what were they before Castro took over?
Cuba, I think it was pretty thriving.
Yeah.
Country.
But I mean, no one's a democracy like we are. We're not even a democracy like we think.
No. Well, we're a democracy on a state level. We're a representative republic on a federal level. But that's one thing, Dave, that just kills me to hear these politicians keep saying to preserve our democracy. And it's federal people talking about this. Like, we don't have a federal democracy.
No.
That's not the way this works. We have it's on a state level.
Yeah.
Democracy, when you and I go vote in our state for a governor or whatever, a police chief,
we might have
that's
a
a democracy.
Right.
The majority of the people that are voting and get someone in, that's a democracy.
Right.
On a federal level, we have a representative.
Right. You go to the Dominion voting machine, and whichever candidate it elects is the one that you get.
They change it, and that's another thing. I know we use Dominion machines here in Louisiana. I mean, I haven't seen a label on them, but I know it's Dominion. But they have these little, like a credit card thing. And you stick it in the machine. It has a little chip on it, like a card with a chip on it.
Yeah.
You stick it in the machine, and they start the machine, and they walk away, and you vote. And then you say, okay, finished, done. And you pull the card out, and you hand it to someone. You never know how you voted on that card. They don't give you a receipt for that.
Well, you know who you voted for.
I know who I voted for, but
that doesn't mean the card recorded it.
What's recorded on that card? See,
you're right.
They don't give you an option to view that. Yeah.
So I guess we're supposed to be happy they give us an option to vote. But I don't.
Well,
I do not know. I'm just the guy who brought us all together. Figured we'd have a little bit of fun, and then who knows? But I do appreciate your dropping by. One last opportunity to show my partner. If you're a communist and you drink your tea in your left hand, you do that. If you're a Republican and you drink your tea in your right hand, then you do this.
yeah. You're a communist, you read the back. Republican, you read the front.
Right. And it's called Go To Tea.
Get the tea.
Get the tea.
GetTheTea.com.
Yeah.
Tea that makes you go.
And you drink what? 6 cups a day?
No, I haven't drank it in a while.
You haven't drank it in a while.
Life changed tea.
Life changing. Yeah, you drink enough, and I'm sure it does change your life.
Pomegranate super tea. It tastes good.
Pomegranate super tea.
Yep. Help maintain your health, cleanse your body from intruders, all in caps. Help maintain a healthy colon and digestion. Helps maintain your ideal body weight, of course, because you're shitting like that too.
So for more information, go to NikkiT.com.
Yeah. NikkiT.com. And believe me, I don't make any money off this.
No, I know. I just like Jerry gets so annoyed, I guess is the word, whenever you show it, that it just makes.
It was brought up on whatever was brought up on that show that we had on American Rebellion. And I was like, hold up, let me get the tea.
Every time I have seen this, he's like, he'll even say to me, "Oh, you got it started now."
Takes a couple of the bags, tea bags, in here, and what you do is you put it in a Boogie with the Bull cup.
Yep.
With water. You put the 2 tea bags in there.
Yep.
Just fill the cup with water.
Yep.
And you microwave that for a certain amount of time to get it to steep.
Yep.
And then you cover it. And you just set it on your counter for 24 hours.
Yep.
And let it steep.
Yep.
Let it steep. Let it steep. And then you get a gallon jug. And you put the tea bags.
Yep.
You pour everything in tea bags and all in the jug and fill it up to a gallon. And it's a clear tea. It's not like a dark tea or anything like that. Has a little kind of yellowish tinge to it, but not much. Doesn't have much of a taste to it. But then you can add whatever flavor you want to it. You could add orange juice. You could add, any kind of Kool-Aid or whatever you want flavor you want. You add it to it.
Any kind of Kool-Aid except grape.
Well, yeah. But anything you want to add to it, even if it's that what's that healthy shit? Shit. Not Metamucil. Don't add Metamucil to it because man, that's gonna fuck you up.
Don't change the name to give you the go.
Yeah. You can't stop going.
You can't stop going.
Anyway, that's what it's all about. I decided I'm gonna try it, and it works.
It works.
It works. It really does. Yeah, I mean, if you have bowel problems, It will solve your bowel problems.
Okay.
It will
And
solidify
if you
your
don't have bowel problems, it might give you
liter-
bowel
it
problems.
will literally solidify your shit.
Oh, God.
So yeah,
Okay. Nikki T, a man who really does know shit.
yeah. I know shit, but I don't know shit.
I used to, after my dad opened the coffee bars, I used to introduce him to friends of mine as a man who really does know beans. Yeah.
Right?
You don't know beans. Well, I don't. My dad does. All right, Mr. Young. Any final words before we put you you put your parachute on and we show Steven how easy it is?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go climb the house now and jump off without a parachute. No, I'm not going up there. I don't
Okay.
like heights.
Don't go
I
up
don't.
there at night. You might fall off.
Well, I'm not going up there during the day. I don't like
Yeah.
heights anymore.
Depending on
I
how
used,
old it
I
is, you
used
might
to,
not have to jump off.
yeah, I used to jump off the roof of this house. Me and my older brother, we'd climb up, get up there. And it was all fun. We'd jump off and land on.
Land on your head and then get up and jump off.
We land there. We never broke a bone, thankfully. Mom was appreciative of that. Because if we did, she'd have probably broke another few bones. But anyway, but yeah, thanks for letting me on, Dave.
Anytime.
Good talking.
My
Sorry
pleasure.
being late, but
Hey, there's no, you know, I'm having more fun. The more fun I do, the people just pop in whenever they want, pop out when they have to, and it goes.
yeah.
It goes.
But other than that,
I will be watching tomorrow night in the live chat.
come to Amrad tomorrow night.
The American Rebellion over on Rumble. Go to the American Rebellion page here on Facebook and you can get the link, or message Nikki and he'll send you the link so you can watch it. Or he probably posts the link somewhere that you can know.
Yep.
I know it's tough, people, that you're on Facebook all day long and nobody wants to go anywhere else to watch things that they used to. But, if you were watching the American Rebellion on Facebook, go over to Rumble and watch it. It's the same group of people. It's fun to have them here Tuesday and Thursday night, but go over there. It's a whole new world. And you can type things into the comments over there that you can't type into the comments here.
Right. Because you won't get banned.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually pretty funny. You can type in the one I said before, Rashida. I won't say the last name. Well, you can say it. You can type in Rashida Towelhead on Facebook in a live chat. If you do, it gets flagged right away as a hate speech. It gives you two choices. One is you can accept the hate speech violation and it will post it. The other is that you want to delete it. So, and that's the other thing I learned on Facebook broadcasts a long time ago. What you say out of your mouth is different than what you type into a chat room or a live chat. But if I type that name that I said into the live chat and I post it, I will get in trouble. But you can sit here and say it all night long, and there's nothing they can do about it. Yep.
Correctamundo, sir.
All right, sir. Always a pleasure. Come back Thursday if you're around, or I'll see you in the audience watching tomorrow night.
Yep.
Okay.
Bon soir.
Bon sour.
Have a good night.
Right. Okay, you too, Nikki. Rebellion, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, just like they were here on Facebook, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sometimes they go a little bit later, as I said with Jerry earlier. And if you liked watching it on Facebook, go over and watch it on Rumble. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just you get to a point on Facebook where they're banging you all the time for doing things that you should be able to do. And I've been here for so long. I've been here for 14 and a half years, and I just deal with it. And deal with it as best we can. Anybody is welcome to be on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. to about 9:30 is as late as we go usually. All you have to do is message me that you want to be on a broadcast. And we have a group chat on Messenger, the link chat. The link goes in at 6:45. I go live at 7 o'clock, and you come in whenever you want to do it. You're always welcome to do that. I think we have 8 cameras. It might be 10, but I think it's only 8. So as long as there is a camera available, you are welcome to come on. And if we ever get to the point where there are more people than we have cameras, then we'll figure out something. And if you are a StreamYard broadcaster like I am, that means you use StreamYard to get to Facebook and YouTube or wherever else you get to go to. We can link together. And if your broadcast is, say, on Twitter and on StreetLock, then we would be live on your broadcast on Twitter and StreetLock, and you're live on our broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube. We're looking to podcast everywhere that we can. That's why we keep YouTube around. The longer they let us stay, that allows us to podcast it wherever we can. So, Callum McMillan, good night to you. Nikki, good night to you. Scrolling back up. Jane O'Malley, good night to you. And Larry Burns, good night to you. Stephen Tolliver took off because he had to fly home. And I hope you have a safe flight, Stephen. And I want to scroll back up because near the beginning of the broadcast, something happened that I didn't understand and I couldn't stop it. Normally, like Jerry said, on StreamYard, you go over to the corner and there are 3 dots, vertical dots come up, and you can block a comment that came up, but I don't see those 3 dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this again, and this will be the last time that you will ever see it because I will be on the horn with StreamYard tomorrow to try to figure out how to make sure this never happens again. If you come into a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and you put something like this into the live chat, be ready. I will put it up. I swear to God, I will put it up. If you really need help, I hope people help you. But if it's some kind of a scam, then I don't know what will happen, but we'll figure out something, okay? Because people in the United States right now and around the world are, in fact, hungry. They're having trouble buying food for themselves and their families, keeping roofs over their head. So if you're a con, don't come on to my broadcast and con anybody. I just don't have the tolerance for it. Life is too short, okay? If you think, anyone watching, that you want to take a chance and help this person, probably don't, okay? But, I don't know why I couldn't, normally, like Jerry said, you move the cursor over and 3 dots come up, and vertical dots, and you can delete the comment. You can ban a person from a broadcast. But for some strange reason on that person's comments, I don't get the ability to remove it. But anyway, and I hate to have to do that because, like I said, the full fun about Boogie with the Bull is that anybody can come on, anybody can say whatever they want. You just have to be able to stand up for whatever you say. And that's just the way it goes. Anyway, this is the part of the program where I look at the camera and I say, you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, which is a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. All I'm going to tell you is we own it all. And if you don't think we own it all, then contact me and I will profusely apologize for violating a copyright of yours. Facebook is the worst place for that because I think they purposely use advantages that they have that looks for copyright violations in broadcasts, and then they turn you in on purpose, like they think it's funny. It's like they look to get you in trouble. If we honestly violate somebody's copyright in the course of a broadcast, we want to know. Because we never mean to. If we play music that we don't have permission to play, then we apologize, and we might even try to figure out the right way to get permission to play it. But if we play it, it's because it's relative to a broadcast or it's something that we think you might want to hear, and it is what it is. Anyway, I don't know, I'm out of words. So you all have a pleasant evening, and we will see you Thursday. On Thursday, I believe right now, it's going to be Mike Gill, which you all know from State of Corruption and State of Corruption, New Hampshire, which was on YouTube, I think is on Rumble now, and other places. I thought I had read something that said that Dominion had been nailed in New Hampshire for Dominion machines not counting Republican ballots correctly. It didn't say which election. It just said they had been nailed for it. It wasn't a Babylon Bee BS post, parody post. It was 100% legit. I read it from where I read it from, but now I go back and I can't find it. So if you have any knowledge of Dominion getting into trouble in New Hampshire for not counting Republican ballots correctly, please message me and get me all the information you can. And then, like I said, we'll talk about it with Mike on Thursday, as well as all the latest updates on the corruption in New Hampshire and all the other things that you might want to know. So anyway, I'm Dave Wolven. You're not. Thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. And we hit this double B's for victory. This Boogie with a Bull broadcast is coming to an end. Let's see, just about 2.5 hours. Try to work it down a little less. I mean, try to end it by 9 o'clock, but sometimes if it ends earlier, that's okay. We'll be back on Tuesday. We will be back on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you like the broadcast and you see it, it's in it's on my profile. Please take it and share it. We will post the podcast in our 8 groups tomorrow here on Facebook. Let's see. The private groups are American Regulators, American Regulators, Conservative Freedom Defenders, Red Patriots for America, and the Hardcore Conservatives group. The public groups are Boogie with the Bull, True Patriot Talk, Move America Forward with an exclamation point on the end, MAGA News Nation, and the United Media Group Uncensored, which we share with Randy Griesenbeck and Roland Hatton. And you never know what you're going to see in there. Go into the groups, join the groups. Right now, we're having a big problem with people joining our groups whose profiles are either seriously out of date or probably trolls trying to get into the accounts. I will tell you this. We will let you in. We will let you into all 8 groups. If you do something that you don't belong in one of the groups, you will be removed. That's just the way that we're going to do it. I don't believe in censoring people on broadcast. I don't believe censoring people in groups. You have a right to post your opinion. That's why Facebook I'm surprised, has had me here for 14 and a half years. So, if you see the groups, you're more than welcome to join the groups. Bring your friends into the groups. And if you're a conservative patriot or a constitutional Republican or a constitutionalist, whatever you are, a Constitutional Party member, have a group on Facebook, please invite me in, because I would love to. I'd love to be a part of those groups, and we're always looking for stuff to share in our 8 groups. It's not as easy as it used to be trying to keep 8 group news feeds up and running 24/7. And speaking of that, I want to thank Terry Stark and Jen Woodruff, our admins, who do a fantastic job of doing that. And yeah, and otherwise, I'm going to bed. I don't have to work. Actually, I don't have to work tomorrow, but it's eye injection day. I'll have some good news about that later. Anyway, so live well and prosper.